Alright, guys. What? Alright, guys. Let's see if we can make it to the mystery dungeon today. Not sure how long this, clues gathering section will be, but, okay. I think we should be on the right side, right? I think there was less peacekeepers that way? No. Oh no.
Master, did you...
We go around this way. Back into the lab we go. Did it reset all the traps? Probably not.
I managed to get here without being seen, but there should be more peacekeepers up ahead. I better keep moving and stay out of sight.
How? It's one corridor.
Wait, what if some toxic gas is still lingering around? Nah, just kidding.
They were over there.
I knew it. There are still some peacekeepers. But once I'm at the computer, I'll be in their blind spot.
What if they hear you move?
How are you going to get past them?
I just need to reach the computer without being seen.
This mission is impossible. Master, you gotta make sure you don't get clumsy.
There's no time. We need to hurry up and check the...
The computer is gonna make noise.
All that's left is to check the computer.
How could they not hear the keyboard?
Oh no!
Jeez, I told you not to get clumsy.
You're that terrorist detective. How did you get here?
I'll catch you and report to Director
Oh,
Young.
okay. I mean...
Master, you'll have to take a chance in the mystery labyrinth.
Wait, I didn't check the computer yet. I have to do that.
Then what are you gonna do?
What?
Well... Oh.
Just come quietly. Resistance is futile.
What's the map?
Whoa. That's...
Livia!
Sheesh. What a pain.
What did you inject them with?
I'll die someday.
Livia, you came to help me?
I always like to keep this
Okay,
syringe
well,
in my pocket.
yes, totally normal.
He walks around with a syringe. He's like a walking cop man.
That also doesn't make any sense.
I know I should leave you alone, but curiosity got the best of me. You are like death itself.
You said that before, but I'm not the death detective.
No matter. I will be a witness to the end. Once you obtain the truth, I'll see if you choose to scream or fall silent.
Wait, does he already
I
know
don't
the
get what you
truth?
mean, but you really saved me. And now I can check the doctor's computer. Vivia really helped us out there. Let's wrap up this investigation now.
Doesn't have a password on it or anything. I guess it's unnecessary
Locked.
because,
Thank goodness.
you know, no one can
could
get in
enter
his
this
lab.
room,
Yeah.
So he didn't need to set a password.
Well, somebody did though.
Time to check it out. Let's see. Security log, reference folder 1, folder 2, folder 3.
Well, what are you looking at? And what did you find out?
Well, basically, when the security system is turned on or off, it automatically records the date and time in the log. So if someone cut the security and entered this room without permission, it would be recorded in the log.
Uh-huh. I don't really get it. I'm not into modern machines and stuff.
How long was she asleep
What's
in the
going
book?
on here?
What's wrong?
The only instance of the security being switched off was an hour ago. It hasn't been turned back on since. That means this must have been when I used Amapal to disable the security.
Right. So,
Well, the last time security was cut was 90 days ago.
90 days?
Which means that security was up for at least 90 days before I disarmed it. There wasn't a single moment that security was cut during that time.
This old man was cooped up in here for 90 days.
Oh, come on.
He's
I managed to
shut in.
last an entire summer vacation.
That's not the problem here. There's no record of anyone coming in and out of this room. There should be a log of the hitman entering before we did. Since there isn't, the doctor couldn't have been murdered here. It's the perfect, impossible crime.
From the looks of it, it appears we have strayed further from the truth. The files are formatted to
How do you know
prevent
that?
editing.
You know, he's also good with
There
computers.
doesn't appear to be signs that the log was rewritten.
We've checked the data, but it's just made the crime even more impossible.
And thus, the mystery deepens. Hysterical.
It's not over yet. There could be more secret data. Halara even mentioned it. His emails haven't been deleted. He's been communicating a lot with the same person. One message is fairly recent, too.
Oh, somebody discovered our deal. Oh, oh. Oh. Damn it, I can't do it without the thing.
This is...
Quite I'm sure Doctor refers to Dr. Huesca. But
Oh,
who
I
is
should
the
have read it.
anonymous person?
The address is just random characters jumbled together. It'd be hard to figure out who the person is just from this.
The doctor spoke to a mysterious person about leaking research and confidential information.
Speaking of which, Makoto mentioned something similar.
Well, this is just a rumor, but someone in Amaterasu Corporation is working behind the scenes with Dr. Huesca. I don't know what they're plotting, but if this rumor is true,
Is
it
this
must be
them
dealt with
being dealt
eventually.
with?
So his suspicions were right. Searching through the backlog of the emails, this appears to have been going on for over 5 years.
Wait, 5 years is before the...
It seems like the relationship soured about 6 months ago.
before whatever
I
happened,
guess the
right?
doctor wanted to cut ties.
So the doctor plotted to leave Kanai Ward, and this anonymous tried to stop him.
It's more like he directly threatened him, if you ask me.
Could Anonymous be the one who hired the hitman?
No, about
Doctor
4chan?
betrayed him, so he sought to kill the doctor. Makes sense.
The doctor didn't shut himself in here just for research. He did it to protect himself.
He felt Anonymous posed a threat, so he barricaded himself in a lab with impenetrable security. That also makes sense.
But he sure didn't act like someone living with a death threat, right?
Either he was that confident in his security, or it was just a facade. Regardless, this Anonymous is very suspicious. If only we could find out who this is.
Even if that person hired the hitman, we still don't know how he got inside.
True, that is the biggest puzzle here. How did the culprit get through such perfect security and murder the doctor? If we don't figure that out, the case can't be solved and our innocence can't be proven.
Huh?
Oh, hey, Yomi's back after running away like a
doing
little
here?
bitch.
You again? What are you, anyway? Or was this all fated from the very beginning? No. Fate is just an excuse for defeatists. Alright, fine. You're not just some shit in my path. You're an obstacle in the way of my ideals. Piece of trash. Trash must be dealt with properly before you rot and start to stink! What's Yuma? I see. I'll make a path through Kanai Ward's sewers with your name on it. Of course, it'll be named after your bones.
Is this
once they're
justice
dumped
too?
there. Hey! Capture these criminals!
Well,
I'll execute
why do you
them
need
on
to
the
capture them
spot.
if you're gonna execute them?
Shinigami, can you do it?
Of course, Master! We're finally acting like partners! And of course, it's all thanks to my basic training!
To the mystery labyrinth!
Alright! Mystery Labyrinth!
Let's see a transformation sequence again. Oh, that guy's about to take a step forward. Oh, maybe he's our assistant.
I see. So this is your true power. Yuma. I knew.
I don't know why he has like a cross in his eyes.
No matter what you say, it's already way too late.
I want to die someday.
Down the rabbit hole we go.
Alright, we're in there. Do I think we can finish this before the end of the session? I think so. I think we can finish this in one go. This chapter also felt shorter than the other ones, because you didn't spend any time in the city. You just kinda, you know. And I did get the trophy for doing all the submissions already, so I know there's no more of that.
Again with the falling. Why can't it ever be a gentle landing? Oh, Vivia. This is called the Mystery Labyrinth.
So, this
Damn,
place
this guy is a
physical
master
manifestation
detective.
of mysteries from the case.
Figured out immediately.
You can tell? Oh, well, anyway, this actually isn't my forte.
Due to the power of death. Her, right?
Huh?
So you really could see me this whole time.
He could?
It's due to my spiritual affinity. Ever
So
since
he's
I
like a
was young,
medium.
I've been able to see otherworldly things. My forte was gained through training that innate talent. Though, I wasn't able to see her clearly like this before. I could tell you were talking to some haze following you around, but that was it.
Wait, but that was only mentally.
Until
though.
one day, I used my spectral projection at the agency, and saw that death got clear as crystal. After that, I did some research. I discovered that the WDO underground book vault held something called the Book of Death, and also that someone had taken it.
Did I take it? Before I lost my memories?
I don't know. Since you're a rookie, I doubt you'd have access to the book vault. Only a handful of people have WDO clearance for that.
Just a handful?
Anyway, you've been using this ability to solve the other cases up till now, haven't you? So, this is also related to the mysterious deaths of all those culprits? My guess is, clearing a labyrinth, the materialization of a mystery, causes its true perpetrator to die. If that's the case, you've killed a lot of people with your own hands, Yuma.
Well, I didn't really kill anyone. It's just what happens when...
Nope. I may be the one reaping their souls, but the blood is still on your hands.
What? Hey!
No point in pretending to be a goody two-shoes. You're risking your life to solve these mysteries.
I see. So you're determined to do this, huh? Sorry, but I don't think I have that kind of conviction myself. So, I think I'll take a
Well,
nap here.
I mean, I don't think it
while you
changes
go
things
and
that much.
Risk your life.
You can sleep if you want, but you won't be able to get out.
Is that so?
If you're not with Master when and if he solves the labyrinth, this place will collapse around you. Well, if you don't have any regrets in the real world, you're free to die here.
Regrets? I don't have any of those. But there are still some things I've left unfinished. Especially after you exposed the mystery of this case.
What do you mean by that?
I'll be perfectly clear. I'm just going to tag along. I'll leave the heavy lifting to you.
I don't care what you do, just don't get in our way. Well, Master.
Alright, this is just another of the same cutscene.
Yeah, okay.
Oh no, maybe something different this time. Nah, it's alright.
Is that sword for cutting through mysteries? This place must be pretty dangerous.
Here you go, Master. Here's your solution key.
Is that key something like a clue for the case? Wow. Looks like you're ready to go.
Could you be more of a doubter? Whatever. I'm gonna ignore you. So let's go and unriddle this mystery labyrinth. Let's hunt down this culprit who preys on the truth.
We have to walk? This is unbearable.
Come on! You're bumming me out here.
I thought you were gonna
Alright, time for a lot of walking.
say, Vivia.
You mean Dr. Huesca's murder?
Wait, why does he remember the...
Or are you talking about when
details?
Chief Yako was attacked?
Huh? You remember? Everyone else that came here lost their memories.
That's pretty rare. Must be because of his whole spiritual thing.
So the others lost their memories. That's why no one remembers this death god.
How rude of them. It's thanks to yours truly that those cases got solved.
That reminds me, I used my coalescence with Fubuki before Vivia. But Vivia is the only one who came into the mystery labyrinth.
I guess coalescence got overridden. Maybe it only takes the most recent ability. I don't know either.
You don't know? But coalescence is your power, Shinigami.
Relax, will ya?
Okay, maybe it's not actually her power.
You would have been better off with Fubuki. She would have been far more useful for this case.
It doesn't matter anyway. No one can use their forte here.
Oh. So now I really don't have to do anything. Thank goodness. What a relief.
Jeez! You ever think your lack of motivation could be contagious?
Fast forward. We're gonna have to fight Yomi himself as for the deathmatch, the reasoning deathmatch, whatever.
Ooh!
No? It's completely blank.
I told...
I thought this labyrinth would only require your wits.
Well, he doesn't have a whole lot of wits, so he doesn't have a...
Oh? They're both locked.
Huh?
I don't like Master. Maybe you don't even know which mystery to start with to solve this case.
Yeah.
Come on! Let's decide that...
The facts that Dr. Wesker, and yet, we were the first to discover the body. At the time, we were controlling the robot, Amapel. Because of that, we were thought to be the culprits. But we obviously aren't. So how did the culprit get in and out of the doctor's lab?
But the culprit is definitely the hitman, right?
I think so, but I'm not absolutely
Well, is there
sure.
really a mystery here if you know that the
Besides,
culprit's the
even
hitman?
if the hitman did it, there's the question of who hired him. But there's no doubt the hitman stabbed Chief Yako. That's the only thing I'm absolutely certain about.
Oh,
Peacekeepers?
Kanai Ward's garbage.
So the direct...
Yeah,
I figured. In other words, he's a monster created from the labyrinth, right?
right.
You pieces of shit.
oh, he's like a demon form. Oh, also two-faced.
This guy doesn't seem like an
Yeah,
easy
this
opponent.
definitely looks like a final boss. I don't know why the sword is
We
like
have no choice.
flexible though.
For Chief Yako, for everyone.
You killed Dr. Wesker, didn't you? Turn yourselves in so I can torture you to death!
Oh, he has like an Ivy sword. Soul Calc.
You're the ones who killed Dr. Wesker! You disarmed the security systems of the doctor's lab.
Hold on. Wait.
then murdered him inside. Until you actually entered the lab, the security system for the critical lab stayed active. It's
That's true.
impossible to bypass the system while it's active.
No, that wasn't it.
You're the ones who killed Dr. Wesker. You disarmed the security system to the doctor's lab. And then murdered him inside. Until you actually entered the lab, the security system for the critical lab stayed active. It's impossible to bypass the system while it's active. In other words, no one can enter the doctor's lab. There couldn't be an intruder.
Hold on. No. Wait. So I had the right thing. It was just on the wrong prompt.
When the body was first discovered, Amapal was about to enter the doctor's lab, but something bumped into it and knocked it over. In fact, there was a mark on Amapal's head, like someone kicked it.
But directly on
That
the
mark
forehead?
wasn't there when we borrowed it. It's proof that someone else was in the lab.
You call that evidence? Is bullshit the only thing that comes out of that mouth? Don't make me laugh. Shit! There was an intruder? That's impossible! And in fact, you proved that yourself!
Oh, no. No. Okay.
Damn!
Okay. Oh, so it's not.
Don't make me laugh! Shit! There was an intruder? That's impossible! And in fact, you proved that yourself!
That claim doesn't hold up. What do you mean? We proved there wasn't an intruder.
You still don't understand? If there was another intruder, then where did they go? By the time you arrived at the scene,
Oh.
there was no one else, right? There's no place to hide in the critical room.
Nope.
I'll slash through this mystery. There's a hiding spot. It's inside the airlock's decontamination device. The vent cover can be easily removed, and there's just enough space for someone to fit inside. If they hid inside the decontamination device, we wouldn't have seen them when we arrived at the scene.
So what? You've got it all wrong anyway. Everything is wrong. You're...
Okay. Just. Oh, okay. Things open. Oh, both. Was there an intruder?
Okay!
There had to have been, right?
Sorry.
There was an intruder for sure! We know someone bumped into Amapal.
The culprit probably hit Amapal on their way out. After that, they must have intended to leave the lab, but they couldn't because we were in the front chamber. So they hid inside the decontamination device to avoid us.
So, if you checked inside the decontamination device on the way to the scene, You would have caught the culprit then and there.
Yeah, but it was an emergency and we had no idea they were in there.
It's super lame to make up excuses, Master.
It's not an excuse, but it is true. If I had thought about why Amapal was knocked over at that time, I would have realized the culprit was in there. We could have waited in ambush or searched for them. And if I'd caught the culprit then, Chief Yaka wouldn't have gotten stabbed.
Master, wallowing in regret is even lamer. If you have time for that, you have time to keep going.
You actually have to physically walk all the way to the end of this. That's late.
This is the first step to solving how the culprit committed an impossible murder.
Huh.
I leave the rest to you.
You can bring your...
He's just special.
No, that doesn't work, right? Maybe that's it?
Right here!
No? Because the power doesn't work, right? Because
Never
the
entered?
power is on.
But you said there's no doubt the culprit was in there.
Perhaps
Maybe
the
the-
intruder is not the culprit after all.
So you're saying that the doctor
No,
committed
there was no way he
suicide?
could have reached his back of it.
If the doctor committed suicide, then the culprit wasn't the intruder, but the doctor himself.
But if the doctor did it?
Oh, okay.
People only grow by learning from past mistakes, which is why I purposely...
Hey, these are like Dragon Quest enemies.
How do we get out? Use logic.
All right.
Stab wounds in the back. How is he gonna reach? How is he gonna reach himself?
One stab would have indicated that he held the knife, but he couldn't have made three. Well, I may have messed up, but at least we got a little closer to the truth.
Maybe, but if you hadn't messed up in the first place, you wouldn't have to come up with such a lame excuse.
I know. I'll do better next time.
Thanks. Oh. So we're back here. Oh, so this is the... I mean... Can you turn off the thing, though? It's on a separate power thing, right? Like, is this it?
The doctor invited the culprit in?
Things are so muddled now because we're assuming.
Ah, so you think the doctor disabled the security?
Well, there's no disabling the security in the log, right? How would it work?
Huh? To women!
Alright. Yeah. Okay, so are all three paths wrong?
The log on the doctor's computer. If that's the case,
Yeah, all three of these are wrong. It can't be the other one because the power is on a separate grid. So do I have to pick the answer that I know to be wrong? Is there another path? Guess we'll try all of them. I'm guessing all three of them are wrong. Because this one's not the right answer either.
The culprit used the black.
Another two statues.
The doctor said the critical lab was on a separate grid, and the lab switchboard wasn't in the electrical room. The security wouldn't shut off, even if there was a blackout in the building.
So yeah, all the options are blocked. Where do you even go? It's so annoying they make you walk through this corridor again. Oh, okay, there's another door.
Hey, there's. I get it! Since we proved that every possibility was wrong, a new one has appeared!
Interesting. The Mystery Labyrinth not only materializes the case, but also changes based on your investigation.
Right. Something felt off about those other routes. It's almost like we were forced to choose the wrong way.
But by eliminating each wrong answer one by one, you opened the path to the right answer.
Which is?
You sound disappointed.
Who cares? Let's just see what's in the final.
What?
They use spectral projection to
I
enter
don't
and-
think that's...
Ben, I can't believe the culprit entered the labyrinth with us. That's never happened before. How dare you trick me! There is no escape! Once the mystery labyrinth is solved, the culprit will be judged! Master, let's finish up this mystery labyrinth and boom kill this dude!
I'm pretty sure that's the wrong one. Can't even interact with the guy, right? Okay. Oh, so many now. Okay.
To begin with, nothing can be touched while in ghost form. He couldn't have held the murder weapon, the knife. So it's not possible that he stabbed the doctor. Now do you trust Viv?
Master, I've said this 1,000 times, but a detective must suspect everything. Besides, it's his fault for being so sketchy.
Oh,
He
okay.
looks how he talks,
So yeah, once again, for
everything's
someone who's so into
suspicious.
mystery, Shinigami's just not very good.
Sorry. I do try to stay out of sight.
Anyway,
Have to walk against the right corridor again. This is gonna be a fifth. Is gonna be a fifth possibility now?
Don't start with that. You better cooperate.
hold up.
I don't want to get chopped up. But you know,
But that means...
why do you want the truth in the first place?
Huh?
It's easy to say you want the truth.
Oh, okay. There's a certain
But are
Jack
you sure
Nicholson
you can
clip.
handle it? No matter how cruel the truth may be,
Can I...
I'm still not sure. I bet you're not sure either. This mystery labyrinth also reflects your reluctance. Maybe that's why you can't reach the truth.
What are you talking about? I've said it before and...
So you still haven't... Well, when that happens,
Enough nonsense.
this labyrinth appears to change shape by reflecting our investigation. So, instead of following the revealed path, isn't it possible to carve your own path?
Carve my... That's right, Shinigami! Maybe...
Sometimes, just a slight change in perspective is enough to completely change how you...
So if I change my... I see. But that's not right.
Don't box yourself.
Okay, I'll...
I hate when the anemic vampire tells us what to do. But if Master wants to, then fine. Oh,
Oh, okay, barrel time. Wonder what this could be.
look out!
You get more time, or what happens? Oh.
You can do it, Master!
Oh. Oh.
Great! That's right!
So I'm a pal.
Go, go, go!
Did the robot achieve sentience? And, oh, makes the Zelda noise. Oh, okay.
I wish you'd express yourself a
I've never been.
This guy's
Anyway,
Not through a door. We're going over the staircase. Okay. All right. Do we have any points? Might as well spend the rest of your points here. Oh, I need one more SP.
When you think about who could get past security, the only option we know of is Amapal.
true. And that's how we were able to get through security ourselves.
Yeah, but the culprit didn't have
Robot, right?
the culprit didn't have Fubuki's forte to avoid getting
Don't
zapped.
know yet, but since Amapal can get through security, it must be important.
It's sealed off here, too.
Hey, there's an intercom. Maybe someone will respond if you use it.
No way.
Nope.
Huh?
Huh? Wait. What the? Wait. Who are you? Help! Somebody come help me!
Isn't this the footage of when the...
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
The mystery. So the question is, who did the doctor say? Who are you? Well,
let's see.
The trap didn't activate, huh? Why would the doctor say, "Who are you?" if no one was there?
The security was still active at the time, so no one could enter the doctor's lab, right? And that was before. So the only explanation is that no one was there.
Why would he say that?
I think if we
What? That reads up.
But it looks like this is the only way we can go. It could be.
still.
Crawling.
So, Master, do you have an idea about what the geezer was thinking?
Not yet, but I think it has to do with why he said, "Who are you?" I think the doctor was putting on an act.
An act? Really?
The doctor put on an act for a reason, but I have no idea why. We have to figure that out by going down this doctor's motive route.
Oh, another Rising deathmatch.
You rats keep Good luck with that, morons! He had no motive at all!
Well,
We can't do if he's trying to.
So, This was all part of the doctor's plan? He didn't have a plan at all! That exchange on the intercom wasn't an act! There was no reason to put on a show. The doctor misunderstood. You probably don't know this. Weska put his soul into his work. The research was going well.
No? Oh. Nope. I had to wait for another one.
Yeah.
This was all part of the doctor's plan? He didn't have a plan at all. That exchange on the intercom wasn't an act. There was no reason to put on a show. The doctor misunderstood. You probably don't know this. Weska put his soul into his work. The research was going well. The doctor was loyal to Amaterasu.
No, he wasn't.
This is the truth. No, the doctor was planning on betraying Amaterasu Corporation. He was trying to escape Kanai Ward. He said so in the messages he wrote. Yomi's rebuttal. What was he trying to deny?
it's
Missed part of ploy to get him to escape? Because he was being surveilled 24/7 essentially.
it's the security.
Which means we have to choose the right.
This is
As
Yes. Oh, it was to make him unrecognizable.
Oh, the door actually opened. I knew I could let Yuma handle it.
Are you sure you aren't a phantom?
So the doctor tried to swap places. The notes he left behind in the lab hinted at his plan.
You mean the diagram with the sulfuric acid being poured on someone?
Yeah, he was going to swap places with a corpse, then melt it with acid. He wanted to disfigure it beyond recognition. That's how he planned to fake his own death.
At the very least, it'd buy him enough time to escape Kanai Ward.
Wow! He's so cool and grotesque! So who was the substance?
Maybe the doctor was under surveillance by Amaterasu, but he was still looking for a chance to escape. When he learned a hitman was after him, he figured his chance had arrived. The doctor was hoping to use the security system to kill the hitman and use the body as a decoy.
Now that I think about it, the doctor did seem to be waiting for the hitman to arrive.
The hitman has a duty.
But the hitman never did show up. That's why the doctor had a sudden change of plans.
And that was the act he put on by asking, "Who are you?"
Perhaps that was a trap to lure you in,
Well,
Yuma.
He was trying to...
Well, problem. He's too small. Like, there's no way he would.
Considered taking advantage of the detectives, since the hitman never showed up. So if he called for help, he would charge into the lab, not knowing anything about the security system, and thereby.
Yeah, but problem.
acquire
The body
corpse
proportions
he
would
needed
obviously
as
be
his
wrong.
Decoy.
That seems overly complicated. Like those guys who overthink asking girls out.
Well, he couldn't have used another researcher. Someone would have noticed their absence. He needed visitors. People from outside to pull it off.
So if I didn't know about the security and had rushed into the lab,
You'd be a super sexy skeleton right now. Aw, so close.
you want that?
But the doctor's plan failed, and he actually got boom killed by the hitman. I get what he was trying to do, but what about the impossible murder?
Assuming the attack on the doctor was just an act when we saw him through the intercom, we at least know for sure the real attack hadn't happened yet.
In other words, the culprit entered the lab after that exchange. So the problem is, when did they actually?
Probably when you use Amapal. Like, those footprints were suspicious. Maybe they were, well, I assume it was a he, was standing on Amapal the whole time, because Amapal can't look above itself, right? So.
Where are we?
This place is a real mystery. Then again, I suppose that checks out.
Huh? Shinigami?
Yeah! Master, this looks like an important turning point! So, is that your final answer?
I haven't said anything yet!
No.
Master, you now then, we are at the crossroads of mystery and solution! This earth-shattering choice may be your last now, Master! Which one will you choose?
Oh, I guess it has to be yes. Okay.
When I directed Amapal to
Oh,
go
that's
into the
true,
doctor's
yeah.
lab, he already
No, I
had
would
a
have said
knife
at the
stuck in
same
him,
time.
which means he was murdered.
You're... Congratulations, Master!
What are you talking about?
Let's see how much health you have now.
Little by little, we're narrowing down when the culprit entered.
Yeah, but we still don't know how yet. It had to be between when we spoke to the doctor over the intercom and when Amapal entered his lab. During that time, the culprit entered the doctor's lab and murdered him.
So the most likely time would be when you went to borrow Amapal, Master. The culprit had to have entered the lab.
But
then.
how?
But Fubuki waited at the front chamber while Desuhiko and I went to borrow Amapal. She said no one entered or left the lab.
Oh, another door.
Huh?
Maybe you're
I'm sure that from here on, Yuma.
No, I...
This is...
So we have to just...
We'll have to solve them one...
If we know where the culprit was, do you know where?
Maybe. Maybe they're waiting in the thing for Amapal?
Here. The culprit. After the exchange on the intercom, given there was always a detective at the front chamber, when we went to borrow Amapal, the culprit had to have already made their way inside. But the airlock is the only location that isn't affected by the security system. There. The culprit had to be inside that decontamination device before committing the crime.
But I thought he was just hiding in there to avoid being spotted after the crime. So you think the culprit was in there before the crime too?
Yeah. The culprit was waiting for their chance. But we had no idea when we sent Amapal into the airlock.
And from there, Yuma, you guided Amapal to the doctor's lab. So the culprit entered the doctor's lab before then? How would that be possible? Only Amapal could get past security, right?
Yeah, that's the next big question.
Maybe the culprit used another Amapal unit.
No. The researcher mentioned there was only one functioning Amapal.
Which means the Amapal Yuma controlled was the only one that could get past security.
So the culprit must have taken advantage of Master's Amapal to get into the doctor's lab.
Yeah, that's the only way. But how did they use it? There's no solving the doctor's murder until we figure that out.
Well, I have an idea. Will you hear me out?
What is it?
How about giving up? I'm getting tired.
Nope, motion denied.
Here we go again.
Another fork.
Neither. I think it's standing on top of the head.
Do you think
Given the process, Amapal's hands aren't designed to hold anything, so it couldn't use the knife to murder the doctor. Which means Amapal wasn't the murder weapon, and the culprit couldn't have used it as a shield. It can't neutralize the toxic gas, and the high voltage shock would destroy it.
so then?
I think...
Huh?
We've been here before.
But the door we opened
Yeah.
Okay.
And I...
Hey, don't stand!
Stop it.
If you want me to...
We're back at... Where was the culprit before the crime? Because you're stuck at... How did the culprit use Amapal? With that in mind, these two questions are connected.
Connected?
Help him out?
The culprit was hiding in the airlock, where you also left the robot, right? At that moment, only the culprit and Amapal were there. So maybe the culprit did something.
The culprit did something?
Clues are always there, right under your nose. Did you notice any...
Hey!
Oh, hey, the screen lit up. So this is what Amapal sees. It's like the cockpit of a mecha.
Whoa, what was that?
Did it break already? I thought it was state of the art.
No, it... There was a moment when the camera stopped functioning while I was controlling Amapal. It returned to normal.
See? I told you it was right under your nose.
Well, you sort of get it. I'm
You
immediately
don't
gonna
need
lie to
additional
him.
help from me, right?
That was a...
Actually, everything in this world is a key to solving mysteries. You just haven't noticed them. Perhaps there is more you're overlooking. Was there anything else?
Something I need. Wait, that's it!
Huh?
Now that I think about it, wasn't that strange? The culprit must have gotten ahead of Amapal, but why didn't they ever show up on the camera? If the culprit went past Amapal to enter the doctor's lab, they would have been spotted for sure.
Now that you...
But nobody showed up on camera. How did the culprit manage to pull that off? How can you move from the airlock to the doctor's lab without appearing even once on Amapal's camera?
Hey, aren't you just adding another mystery?
No. All the pieces are here.
Huh?
Yuma, the mysteries you face now can be solved with a single answer.
A single answer?
Sheesh. I talk too much.
Oh, one mystery after another! What do you do now? It's a Pandora's box of mysteries!
Let's stay calm and think about it. There's plenty of time.
Or not.
Or not.
Yeah.
I'll keep reading.
Remember what he said, Master. Use those...
Culprits that Amapal's use. It's no fun. Why didn't the culprit appear?
I already
All
figured
this
it
can
out.
be solved.
And we're on top of its head.
I got it! The culprit rode on Amapal's head, using it as a method of transportation.
Yeah, and they had to keep their balance the entire time. That's pretty impressive.
The door opened!
With every open door, it will be harder for you to turn back. Are you sure you want to keep going?
Absolutely. I will...
Hey, what did you mean by...
Literally what I said. The culprit rode Amapal and used it to get through.
Wait. How did they know you would be able to get
After we
through
left
the
Amapal
shock,
in the lab, the culprit
shock
came
door?
out of the decontamination device. Then they jumped on Amapal's head. The disruption in the footage was from the impact.
You had to be able to make that leap. Would have been easier just to climb on it.
Insane!
Is it? I think it's fairly reasonable. Amapal can withstand up to 100 kilograms of weight. So, someone riding
That's
on
about
it
300
should
pounds, I
affect its
think,
functionality.
right?
The shoe print on Amapal's head wasn't caused by someone kicking it. It was left there from the culprit hopping on and off.
After that, the culprit simply rode on it as it moved toward the doctor's lab. By doing so, the culprit was able to evade the camera and remain hidden as they made their way through
Did
the
none
lab.
of the rooms have
Right.
camera
It's
footage?
true, and it does solve all of the previous mysteries. Imagining the culprit riding on a robot makes me laugh!
But Yuma, you're still missing something. One major mystery remains.
What's with...
The greatest mystery of this case should appear soon. Just the thought of it gets me feeling down.
This case...
Well, yep, this is the problem.
This is the...
That means the doctor's lab is just beyond it. If we can get through here, we'll reach the goal. Is this...
This is
the
when the
greatest mystery
no,
you
this is
mentioned?
when the thing got knocked over, right?
Well, this it...
It's me.
No? Oh.
was when the door first opened.
Yeah.
But how did it get? Oh, I guess they did kick it over then. Yeah, I mean, you could have just walked around.
The moment there was enough space for a person to slip through, the culprit hopped off and went inside.
Like this?
Again.
Is this a joke to you? Your deduction is full of holes. If this is...
Master.
Of course.
I'll take your garbage to... I am the saint of... The culprit hopped off Alapal as the door opened, then slipped through the gap in the door. That's impossible, even for Think the Slaughter Artist. Think about it. If Alapal's line of sight changed just a bit, the camera would have caught it. No one would do something so risky.
Oh, I think I'm messed up. I have to wait for it again.
The crime would have been exposed. The culprit must be really lucky. What? Did they use some sort of special power?
Oh, okay, yep, messed up.
No.
It hopped off Alapal as the door opened, then slipped through the gap in the door. That's impossible, even for Think the Slaughter Artist.
Oh.
Think about it. If Alapal's line of sight changed just a bit.
It couldn't change because well, his arm is extended. It can't turn its head.
Alapal is designed so that when its hand is stretched out, it won't execute any other inputs. That's why when it was pressing the button for the door, the culprit didn't show up on the camera.
You little maggots. Don't get so full of yourselves. You're not...
I get it. So Alapal couldn't move while the door was opening. That's when the culprit took their chance.
Since the door opens outward, it's possible to take advantage of the blind spot it creates.
Yeah, you literally could have just snuck up
That's
around.
why
You didn't have to
the
jump
culprit
over.
managed to stay outside the camera's view as they entered the doctor's room.
So it's an elaborate
Did they know
murder
about
that
it?
took advantage of Almapal's design, and even the
How would they
direction
know
the
about
door
Alpal's
opens.
design?
Whoever planned this must have really wanted the doctor dead. I guess you can call it an obsession. How scared where will it take us? Perhaps a suite with the culprit's obsession on full display? A room of nightmares?
Knock it off with the weird soliloquies. Let's go.
You're real...
Huh?
Again?
Okay, when the culprit entered the doctor's room while the door was open,
Huh?
at the time, if the door opened and an intruder entered, how could the doctor not have noticed?
So what if he did notice? It's not a big deal.
Yes, if he had noticed an intruder, the doctor would have turned to face him. Which means he wouldn't have been
Well, his
stabbed.
bad hearing, right?
That piece of trash.
Hey, what are you?
Listen to my incredible words of your crappy deduction is worth less than shit! Everything you do is a fucking mistake!
Weird eyes on the black side of his body. Weird. Okay.
Damn it!
Oh,
Your deduction is inconsistent.
Oh. Oh no, that's not the one? Okay.
Damn it! Your deduction is inconsistent. It's full of inconsistencies. By your logic, even if the doctor could be stabbed, it wouldn't be from behind. My flame doesn't hold up.
No, the culprit did stab the doctor in the back. That's how the body was discovered.
That's why I'm saying your deduction is inconsistent. By your logic, the doctor couldn't have been murdered in that way! The culprit quickly entered the lab. But the doctor was in the room at the time, right? There's no way he missed an intruder. Running is noisy. So Wesker would have heard and turned to face the culprit. And his chest would have been stabbed, not his back. Unless you think the doctor was asleep. Is there any trace of him being drugged? Even if he didn't look back from his desk, he would have heard someone coming!
You gotta wait.
Wait, the doctor had trouble hearing. That's why he didn't notice the intruder.
Now you're spouting nonsense. Say whatever you want, it won't save you. There's a gaping hole in your life because you...
What? Vivius?
It's strange. You've solved many mysteries up to now. Yet, none of them are directly connected to the culprit's identity.
That's because...
If that's the case, why haven't you reaped the hitman's soul? And that would end the labyrinth.
It's not that easy. The culprit will fight back, unless we solve all the mysteries first. Hang on. What are you getting at?
In my eyes, the reason a single mystery
Oh,
hasn't
man.
been directly connected to the culprit is because of Yuma's reluctance. It's pushing away the mysteries.
Someone we
that
don't
lead
want
to
the culprit to be?
Huh?
Subconsciously, you're closing your eyes to the truth. That's why you haven't touched on the hole in your reason.
Whatever, that's enough.
Yuma. Yuma.
Jeez, go away!
You know what I'm talking about, don't you? The huge hole in this investigation.
What are you...
Just ignore him.
Let's review your deduction.
Oh, does Shinigami know?
The culprit took advantage of Amapau's locked position and entered the lab. And before the robot entered the room, that person stabbed the doctor from behind. However, they bumped into Amapau while escaping, causing it to fall over. That was obviously a mistake, but since it wasn't captured on video, they were able to avoid detection. After that, the culprit went inside the decontamination device in the airlock to hide from you.
That's correct. So what's the hole in my deduction?
It's before all of that. It remains the case's greatest mystery.
Which is?
How did the culprit get past security?
What?
We already told the culprit rode on top.
But if someone was riding on it, how did they get past the high voltage shocks in the panel?
Well, you use your power, right? Or Fubi can use her power.
This is the end for you! You have nowhere left to go!
Oh, come on!
I won't let you, as the king of Amaterasu Corporation and the guardian of Kanai.
It's interesting you don't fight him in the real world. You fight him.
Here and now.
You fight him in the.
Perhaps this too
Elaborate.
is an obsession. Why does he insist on covering up the truth? Tell me, what will you do, Yuma? Are you going to stay willfully blind?
No, I'll fight, whether it's subconscious or not. I won't look away from the truth. I'll find the truth no matter what. This is for the Chief and everyone at the Nocturnal Detective Agent.
You'll scurry around this labyrinth forever, like blind mice. You'll rot away in it, looking for an answer that will never come! Keep playing with your shit deductions. You still haven't solved the greatest mystery! How did the culprit get past the security? The critical lab security system was always live. There was no way to reach the doctor. The panel chamber shocks would have fried the culprit. That security system? No living human can breach it!
I'll slash through this mystery.
It was kind of weird.
A human could get past the panel chamber by using Fubuki's forte. In fact, that's how we got past the panels. The high voltage shocks kept destroying Amapel, but we were...
Correct. So whenever it was struck by the current, you went back in time. But while that was occurring, that person was... Which means...
Vivi...
If only you had chosen to remain ignorant, I would have walked beside you in silence. But if you intend to seek the truth, then I must stand in your way.
What are you doing?
He's going to
Betray me?
It's up to you. This is your final chance to save the world you believe in. What are you going to do? It's time to decide your past and your future.
Oh? Whoa. Never seen this happen before.
Let me ask you. How did the culprit bypass the toxic gas chamber? It's impossible to avoid the gas. The culprit would surely die. You should already know this, right? The gas is a special trait. The gas can see through even a gas mask. No ability can nullify its toxicity. Once it hits you, you're done for. You die before reaching Weska.
No, half an hour is... No, half an hour is enough time.
If you pass through the toxic gas, you'll die. But you'll have 30 minutes before it kills you. Which means you could survive for 30 minutes.
What? Don't tell me.
There are no gas masks here that can block this toxic gas. And no fortes that can nullify it. There's only one way you could get through it. You do nothing. You endure it in hopes of Amapel taking you to the next room.
Then the culprit didn't do anything to counteract it and just passed through the toxic gas?
It's the only explanation that makes sense. This is the truth. I can't believe it. But if the culprit really did just endure the
tanked it.
toxic gas,
Then they...
It appears, well, isn't this what you wanted?
Huh? What's he talking about?
Yomi's Mystery Phantom and Fifia are both right. Subconsciously, I didn't want to know the truth.
Huh?
Up until now, the Mystery Labyrinth was withholding the mysteries that led to the culprit. And that's because it's a reflection of my own reluctance.
Master, what's the hit?
The truth is worthless. Nothing has less value in this isolated, rainy city. No one wants the truth. Not even you! Now, rot away and die right here! No one will get in my way. Kanai Lord, Amaterasu, they both belong to me!
Alright, one more reasoning deathmatch.
If the culprit carried out the crime like you deduced, then they should be dead from the toxic gas. But no one at the scene has died from poison. If you can understand that much, then what are you still doing here?
You're right that no one in that lab died from that toxic gas, but that was part of the culprit's plan from the beginning. They planned to distort the facts of their death.
Yuma, your world will fall apart.
Your deduction is wrong. Don't disturb the peace. It's not even worth debating. Is this the best you can do to refute it? Just give up and die!
This, I'll expose the truth!
Oh, it's Yako.
The culprit misrepresented their death by using the Hitman. The culprit realized their plan would be exposed if someone in the lab died from toxic gas, so they used the Hitman to cover up their own death.
Use the hitman?
Meaning, the Hitman wasn't hired to assassinate the doctor. They were hired to cover up the culprit's death by toxic gas.
Huh? The hitman's target was the culprit? Not the doctor? But the doctor was stabbed by the knife with the inscribed F. Doesn't that belong to the hitman?
All you would need is a similar knife. The story of Fink the Slaughter Artist using a knife inscribed with the letter F is well known.
Nah, we'll leave it alone until we receive further orders. Did you see the knife stuck in his back? It's the one that Fink the Slaughter Artist uses, right? I've heard about his knives inscribed with the letter F.
So it was all a ruse? The real culprit made it look like the hitman did it?
Stop, 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 stop! You useless garbage! To hell with detectives and the truth! I won't let you have your way in my city! There is no real culprit! Dr. Weska was killed by the hitman!
Huh?
The real...
The time has... It's time for you to... If the tiny crack spreads any further, the mirror will shatter, exposing the chaos of the real world. Knowing this, then, show me your conviction.
The clues pointing to the identity of the hitman's target. I've known all along.
Now, expose the truth. Do it. If you want to burn the world down.
Alright.
The bloodstained photo found in the hallway near the lab. There was a person pictured with a woman. That was the hitman's target. The real culprit behind this case. The blood obscured the person's face, but I know who it is. It could only be one person. It could...
How do you know? That person in the photo is the hitman's target. And who is it?
It's...
No. Stop! Don't you dare say another word! No one wants the truth!
I don't. Good luck, Master. I'm always by your side, haunting you.
I mean, Yomi's still alive, right? This is the only one that makes sense.
Yako.
Yeah.
Huh? Why? Why is Fuzzhead here?
Chief Yako was the only person attacked by the hitman in the lab. In other words, the Chief was the hitman's target. But Chief Yako tried to hide that photo by tossing it behind the houseplant.
Yeah, if we had just cleaned the photo, it would have just
He
given
made
us
an
the
important
answer.
Clue. And that's because the person in the photo is Chief Yako himself. It was given to the hitman so he'd know his target, and the Chief tried to conceal it. Which means the blood covering the face on the photo was likely done on purpose.
Hold on, Master! Are you serious? You're really saying Fuzzhead is the culprit? Really? I don't buy it. You think he actually put together this elaborate murder? He's knocking on death's
It's kind of
doors
crazy
like
that,
this.
like, it was insanely
I
elaborate.
don't want to believe it either. But there's no other way.
Don't forget this stuff.
Oh,
The Phantom
so there's more.
vanished. The truth has been mostly exposed, and the labyrinth cannot function much longer. Anything I do now might not matter, but I'll do it anyway,
Oh, what? We still fighting?
because it's something I must do. While the Chief takes his final breaths.
Vivia.
Yuma. If Chief Yako is the culprit, then what about that death threat? Why would the chief send it? If he was the killer. Answer me, Yuma.
Oh, it's just QTE? Okay.
By sending that note, everyone would believe the doctor's life was in danger, which was necessary for this sequence of events to take place. All the master
Alex Lee,
detectives
I don't
headed
want to
the
fight
secret
him.
lab because
He
of
voices
that note.
Luke?
Chief Yako brought them here to take advantage of their abilities and murder the doctor.
Huh? Their abilities?
You needed the Fortes to get past the door.
But the death threat wasn't sent just to the detectives. The peacekeepers received it too. What was the point of that? Why put them on high alert? What is the truth behind it all?
He needed people to mobilize the peacekeepers so he can disguise them to get in.
The note was sent to the peacekeepers because they were also part of the plan. When the peacekeepers received the note, they dispatched a lot of their personnel to the scene. The master detectives were able to take advantage of the commotion to enter the facility. They did it by disguising themselves as peacekeepers.
It would be convenient to have a lot of peacekeepers around if you want to get into the lab disguised as one.
This is why the peacekeepers also received the death threat.
Hey, you still want to do this? It's not too late to give up.
I am well aware of the danger. I haven't gotten this much exercise in a long time. But this is something I must do. I can't leave the chief like this.
Vivian.
Let's continue. You were already at the...
Yes, but we decided to...
Wait! That blackout should have caused a commotion. If we leave now, the peacekeepers will see us. I knew it. This place is crawling with them.
What do we do?
I'll draw their attention to buy some time. In the meantime, you two hurry to that doctor.
That's why he sent you two to the doctor.
The chief said he'd buy us some time, but he actually went and hid inside the airlock.
Was the blackout part of the plan? So the one who caused it, was that also the chief?
No, that's not it.
Oh, okay, you're supposed to wait. Okay. I was like, there's only one option, so what was I supposed to do?
The chief...
Oh, okay.
The chief was with me in the security room at the time of the blackout. It's impossible for him to have caused it. So the only person it could be is the hitman. It must have been part of the job. He instructed the hitman to cause a blackout at a specific time.
But...
It made us think the doctor was in danger, so we'd go check on him. We used Amapal and Fortes to get through the tight security system. He used us to break through the security so he could kill the doctor.
So, Master using Amapal and the Sheltered Skank's time rewinding ability at the panel chamber? That was...
The only way to get past security was to use both Amapal and that Forte. The chief knew we'd figure that out.
I think it's more like... He trusted that we would arrive at that conclusion.
I'm counting on you both. See you later.
Drat, how could this be a trust thing? He was clearly taking advantage of you all. He gathered the master detectives using a fake death threat, then used their fortes to commit murder. What a scumbag! He used you all to get away with murder! Out of all the criminals I've ever met, he's the worst coward of them all! Master, grab
Like,
that coward!
Enough!
Yeah. Like, could have just left the doctor there. He was clearly miserable.
Have to come to this.
And he wasn't gonna be able to escape.
Chicago saved me. He took me in. I had lost everything. Even my memories. Sure, he may have been a little pushy at times, but still. I really admired him.
Why did you do it?
Okay, guess it has something to do with the
Is
woman.
this about the woman in the picture? Chief, please tell me!
There's no point in asking, that's just a mystery phantom. It's not the real Fuzzhead. Master, watch out!
The phantoms are a reflection of the same people in the real world, right? Which means he should hold the
Yeah,
same
but he shouldn't know
thoughts.
anything that you don't. Right.
The photo behind the houseplant. I don't know what the chief was hiding, but that photo must have been dropped by the hitman after he was done with it. The chief picked it up and used his own blood to obscure the face. He knew the truth would be exposed if that photo was found. So, he hid it behind the potted plant. He left his blood on it, almost like he wrote a dying message. But in truth, it was actually a secret he wanted to keep hidden.
Master, I think you know this, but to exit the mystery laboratory...
Eliminate?
You know,
The
just
chief?
practically speaking, he was already dying anyway. Like, he wasn't gonna survive the toxin.
After all the mysteries are solved, but you saw yourself, will you still bury him in the name of truth?
The chief took me in when I had no memories, or anyone to turn. I trusted him from the bottom of my. Now, I have to end his life.
You know, I liked it. The little bit of peace and quiet I found at the Nocturnal Detective Agency.
Vivia, you knew the truth behind this case from the very beginning.
I had a hunch because of my spectral projection. I knew the chief had been planning something for quite some time, but I pretended not to see. I admired him.
Well, maybe you
and
could have
the
talked him
world
out
he
of
had
it.
made.
You know?
That's why you threatened me, and were so uncooperative.
I knew you would reach the truth eventually, Yuma. But I tried my best to keep you away. Exposing the truth won't save anyone. Neither the chief nor you.
We still have to do the minigame?
Master, you've already come this far. You've got to finish this. What'll happen to the other master detectives if you die here? Didn't you say you wanted to expose the truth and save everyone?
Vivia, you told me that the time would come when I'd have to prove my conviction. The conviction to accept the truth, no matter how cruel it may be. Now is that time, isn't it?
Yes, and yet you intend to continue. If you're prepared for it.
Hey! You better not get in Master's way again!
Yuma, do you remember when the chief's soul called out to us?
Huh?
Yeah, the truth is cruel. Never in history has the truth been known to be kind. But you know what? Turning your eyes away from the truth And living a lie is harsh too. In the end, you can never look away from the truth. As long as you live, you must face that pain. So really, what's the point of worrying so much about it? When you're lost, believe in your own heart. That way, even if things...
I always averted my eyes from the truth. For my own sake. My own peace and quiet. But I could never say with confidence that I was proud of myself. In the end, I was just running away from everything. That's why I entrust this to you, Yuma. You signed a pact with the Death God in your desire for the truth. I want to see your conviction. As long as you don't stray from exposing all truth, I believe you'll be able to face it, cruel as it may be. I want to see it through to the end. It's why I followed you here. In that sense, we're accomplices. If you must bring down the chief, then I will lend a hand. I won't avert my eyes any longer. I, too, want to live with my head because I, too, am a detective.
Man, if you play this game and you're like, yo, detectives are so cool. Like, yo, the actual work of being a detective.
That way, even if things end up all wrong,
look it up.
At least you can stand proud.
It's definitely not a lot of
I understand, Chief Yako. Thank you for everything you've done for me.
Oh, okay. Well, just we're not doing the castle thing. We're just watching going straight to this. Okay. Alright. it.
Step right up, step right up! Peacekeepers, a CEO, a research doctor, a hitman, and master detectives! 2 dead bodies, but lots of shady characters! Truth bombs are about to be dropped! Time for the deduction!
Hopefully we can save after this. I hope there's not like a long time.
The victim in this case
Yeah,
is one Dr.
I use
Wesker.
Restream. It
This
goes
incident features a sinister and meticulously
you can stream on
detailed
YouTube
plot
and Twitch at
centered
the
on
same
doctor.
time.
The old geezer was holed up inside a lab at Amaterasu HQ.
He's holding his keyboard. He's typing on the keyboard in a very unnatural way.
With a totally overkill security system.
Well, it clearly wasn't overkill enough.
Culprit made
People got past
preparations
it.
beforehand to break through
Like the
system.
poison gas thing, like all you had to do was make it so the door doesn't automatically open after the gas gets released, right? For some weird reason, the door is just
Yeah,
open.
With that out of the way,
I mean, the panel thing was so powerful,
posing
like
as a
we had to
hitman,
literally
the
rewind
culprit
time to
sent
get
a
past
death threat
it.
to the
So,
peacekeepers,
okay, the security
detective
system's pretty strong.
agency, and the research lab. At the same time, they contracted a real hitman and had him infiltrate the research facility.
Why didn't you just get the real hitman to get the doctor?
The beans about Gramps being in danger to lure both the peacekeepers and the detectives to the lab.
You see, the master detective's presence at the scene was an indispensable part of the plan. It was how the culprit gained access to the research facility, after all. The hitman infiltrated the lab exactly as planned,
Yeah, he had the ability.
and we arrived with Makoto at the same time.
Stuff went down, blah blah blah. And
Yeah, whatever happened to Makoto, by the way? Nothing.
I was rescued by Desuhiko
Says
and the
it.
culprit, who were disguised as peacekeepers. With the real peacekeepers rushing around, the culprit took advantage of the turmoil to sneak into the lab. But after catching up with them, the power suddenly went out, separating the culprit from the rest of the group.
The blackout itself was caused by the hitman, right? And getting separated was all part of the culprit's plan.
Right. They used the blackout as an opportunity to hide in the vents
Huh.
in the
The
airlock
weird
chamber.
power of Vivia also means, what's his name?
Afterwards, we headed to the
He's gonna
critical lab
remember
to check on the
everything,
doctor's condition,
Once we
just
leave
like
the lab.
culprit directed us. But since that lab used a separate
I mean, the plan would have been a lot
power
simpler if you just
nothing
hired the
strange
hitman to
would
get the
happen.
doctor.
This whole
You didn't need to plan all this out.
Ranger spiel was an act, huh? He made a fool of you, Master. What a dick!
Well, that was kind of an asshole.
Someone attacked the doctor while we were trying to talk with him over the intercom. We had to get into the doctor's lab.
At that time, the old geezer was playing games with us. And he even tried to kill you and the others with a trap. That bastard wanted to use
Wouldn't have
your
worked.
dead
You're too
bodies.
small. It would clearly not have been his body.
He really got you there, Master.
I don't see why you're so happy about it. The doctor's sham made the case even more confusing. Even if we tried to get to the doctor, the critical lab was guarded by tight security. The only way through was by using an Amapal. The culprit rode on it by emerging from their hiding place in the airlock vent and jumping onto the robot's head.
All aboard the Amapal Express. First stop, a shower of toxic gas. Humans can't protect themselves against the gas, but since it's not instantly fatal, it wasn't a problem. Next up, the panel chamber and high voltage shocks. One wrong move, and it was instant death. But thanks to that sheltered skank, we got all the continues we've been want. So we managed a perfect clear. The critical lab was finally breached.
The culprit had anticipated we would get through this way. They also knew they would die over and over as a result. The camera feed was affected when the culprit jumped on. I should have realized what was happening.
No use crying over spilled blood. On to the next thing. Where were we? Oh yeah! To open the doctor's lab, Amapal had to reach out its arm and hit a switch. And when the door opened wide enough for a person to squeeze through, the killer snuck inside.
Amapal can't follow any new commands while its arm is extended, so the culprit didn't show up on the camera.
Then, the culprit boom killed the old geezer using the same knife as the hitman. Gramps was pretty much deaf, so a backstab was easy peasy.
Then, the murderer tried to leave the room before Amapal entered. But they knocked the robot over on the way out.
They then went back into the airlock chamber vent to wait for you and the others to go by.
We entered the critical lab and found the doctor's body. The culprit used that time to get out of the vent and head for the hallway.
That was when they were found by the hitman. And stabbed.
They'd already been in contact with a toxic gas, so death was inevitable. However, dying by gas would expose them as the doctor's killer. So they hired the hitman to kill them, thereby concealing any involvement.
He could probably test his body and the gas would have been there.
I guess that means the killer completely
Or
trusted in the
bacteria,
master
whatever.
detective's capabilities. They knew those powers would get them close to the doctor. But why were they willing to die to hide the crime?
I can't say for certain. Was it his pride as a detective? Did he simply not want his friends to know? Whatever it may be, I'm prepared to face the truth. The culprit who murdered Dr. Weska, and even included his own death in the plot.
Yako Furio! It was you!
I will expose the truth! But, Chief Yako, why? Why didn't you ever talk to us about this? Why did it have to end this way? Why didn't you tell us? Is this really what you wanted? Can you even hear me?
It doesn't matter who it is. Exterminating the real culprit's soul, and that's why I'm here.
Oh, man. The tone would be very weird if she does her usual, like, summon the scythe, whatever.
Bloodlust.
I don't know, she still does it.
Overflowing despair. The brilliant soul of Shinigami shall expunge this cursed case. Death to all deplorables. Through to the final mystery labyrinth. Starry, shining, rainbow, glorious, stellar spiral.
The tone is so weird. Okay. Well.
Master's naivete must be rubbing off on me. I mean, not even I hated Fuzzhead. That's weird. This mystery labyrinth is falling apart slower than usual. I wonder why.
We shouldn't let our guards down. Do you really think we're done
Oh,
here?
is there another part?
Huh?
Do you have all? If so, we could just leave, right?
Oh. Yeah, who
No,
was
we
who was
haven't
the
uncovered
doctor
everything
communicating with?
No. There are still...
Huh? I read the culprit's soul already. I know it's slow, but this place is starting to come down.
Maybe it's not directly related to this case. I don't want to leave, please.
Oh, fine. I can't say no to you, Master. I know I can't resist helping you when you rely on me. First, we need to reveal whatever mysteries are left. That should open up a new path.
Huh? What? We're doing another barrel section? That's so weird. All right, let's skip the animation for this.
Are you ready to play the Shinigami puzzle?
Nope, I want it. Oh, I'm just messing up. Oh. No, I don't know about the photo information. No. Oh, okay.
Only 30 seconds left, Master! Go, go, go!
Uh-oh. I have no idea what the second letter will be.
Twirling, twirling, twirling.
No, okay. Oh, I goofed. Point here. Oh, I have to. Wow, you have to fast forward through this whole thing? E? I don't know. What starts with E? Enemy? No. Can't be.
Try to solve it, lickety split!
It starts with E.
Nice!
M.
Wrong! Nice!
Oh. Oh,
Tick
email.
tock, tick tock, go, go, go!
It's email. Okay. That's weird. Yo, freaking office job? Emails, man.
Go, go, go!
Oh. Okay. What does this do? Yeah, I guess. I was like, emote? No. Oh, secret. It plays the freaking Zelda chime when you discover a hidden.
Oh, it's a secret done. The labyrinth must be breaking down so slowly because the identity of the culprit isn't the only mystery. But it's still definitely coming down, so you better hurry, Master.
Yeah,
Yuma.
thank you.
Should I just save it and call it here? We're kind of at time. I guess I'm just gonna, yeah. Can we save? Yes, we can. Alright, we're gonna call it here. I know, it's not the end of the chapter, but the chapter's basically over. Yeah. We're gonna call it here. Sorry, guys, but we'll finish this tomorrow, probably. I think the final chapter will probably be pretty short, too, so...